Good evening, and a very warm welcome to yet another interesting and meaningful session of the Enlightenment series. We hope that these sessions are impactful in making us better parents, better sons and daughters to our parents, better friends, better siblings, better peers and colleagues, better neighbors, and more than anything else, better human beings. We thank you from the bottom of our heart for joining us on a Sunday evening. We are indeed honored and feel privileged to host you this evening. Thank you. We begin with the greeting of peace. May the peace, mercy, and blessings of Almighty be upon all. While we all yearn to earn money, the recent times have shown us that money can't buy everything. Are the wealthy ones more happier than those who are poor? Is a successful person happier than the one who is struggling? Is a person with immense intellect and knowledge happier than the less learned? The list just keeps going on. So I would stop here and proceed with today's session to know about the secret of true happiness. I believe, rather, we, the Enlightenment team, believes that this session will definitely make us all happy. Well, indeed, we are all here to know what exactly is the secret. To become happy and to know about the secret, I invite our speaker who has carved an identity for himself which many of the stalwarts envy. His energy and perseverance makes us envy him. A wonderful orator, a social service champion, a man of many seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Muhammad Imran Sait.
Vanakkam, Namaskaram, Namaste, good evening to all of you. I'm truly overwhelmed to be here again this evening, to be among you, to share some very important values in our day-to-day life. Many of your family members will be a little upset and disappointed sometimes. Oh, once again, back to your meeting on a Sunday evening when you were always busy the whole week with your official commitments and your online meetings and other work schedule again back on Sunday evening, or they may be asking a question. I'm sure you would be facing this, but I will just try to share something. The best way to come out of this objection is to make them sit next to you. We're just going to be a 25 to 30 minutes short session, but I'm sure it's truly going to be beneficial to each one of us. Without taking much time, dear friends, today you would have observed that the topic given was the secret of true happiness. The secret of true happiness lies in keeping an eye on our long-term goals, in sacrificing the immediate gains, in steering clear of provocations and impulsive behavior. Don't get scared, friends. These are looking very high-sounding words. But to understand it in a very simplified manner is to always make sure that happiness that we like to derive in our life should not be compromised on account of certain situations and circumstances that we may encounter in our day-to-day life. Particularly to stay away from getting provoked and losing the sense of balance or losing the happiness from within. The secret of true happiness lies in identifying our inner self, our state of mind, our state of heart. And that is something which every individual feels it in his or herself within. It has to be identified, and this immense sense of satisfaction and happiness one feels within himself or herself has to be preserved at all costs. And it's all to do with your mind, the state of the heart and mind. So I look forward to a very interesting session wherein I would like to particularly focus on how contentment and satisfaction can be derived in our day-to-day life? And in what way have we found our destination, and to what extent we are still in search of it? Everybody is undergoing a unique experience on it on their personal level as well. But the larger part is, sometimes it appears that it is short-lived. There are moments of happiness. Again, there are moments of hardship and difficulty. So happiness also seems to be short-lived, which we definitely don't like it to be taken away. That's because we are confusing happiness with another very powerful, or when you given any adjective of happiness, true happiness, real happiness, spectacular happiness, you name it. There's something beyond happiness which is called contentment in life. And the secret of true happiness lies in contentment. To be very brief, let me give you now some of the details and inputs on this word contentment, and what is this contentment all about, and whether contentment has anything to do with happiness, or is just happiness is only part of contentment. Details, inshallah, as we go by, we will let you know. Friends, everybody would agree with me by saying that we definitely enjoy happiness, but as is rightly pointed out, contentment of life is the ultimate. And let me tell you that contentment of life can always be achieved, whatever be the state and condition we are in. This may surprise you. We have confused contentment with happiness. Happiness is part of contentment. Contentment is something which is an inner feeling, a feeling of bliss, a feeling of satisfaction, a feeling within that gives you the self-confidence to take life as we proceed, or to face life as we proceed. Contentment should not stop us from being ambitious. In fact, contentment should be the driving force for us to be ambitious and to achieve much, much more in life. Contentment is not the final achievement, but it is the beginning. If I'm not content with what I have today, I will never be content with what I'll have tomorrow, even if maybe more. I should be content with whatever I have. But this should not stop me from growing, developing, improving, and progressing. Each time I raise the bar, my contentment continues. But I'm being ambitious, which is extremely essential for my growth and for my development and my progress in life. It's not that contentment where people say, now I'm contented. That means I have nothing much to achieve. I have nothing much to go. This is a wrong understanding of contentment. Contentment is a feeling of satisfaction and being grateful to what condition I am in. And the best way to achieve contentment is to look at the people who are less privileged than me. I have eyes to see. There are many who are blind. I have ears to hear. There are so many who are deaf. I have a tongue to speak and express. There are many who are dumb. I have a mind and heart which can relate with people. There are others who do not have that, who are mentally retarded or physically challenged. The first stage of contentment is to enjoy things as they are, and in what condition you are, you enjoy it. Let there be a sense of satisfaction in whatever condition you are in. And the best way to achieve this is looking at the less privileged. You will then enjoy life. You will derive immense satisfaction. You will never grudge. You will never grumble. You will never feel disheartened, and you will never be ungrateful. Second, you can derive contentment by sharing and caring with others. Beginning with your own family members. We'll talk about the outsiders later. Beginning with your own family members. How can I derive contentment from my house itself? Can I share some warm moments with my wife? Can I be along with my children for at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, keeping aside my cell phone and everything, and concentrating on them, playing with them, engaging with them, talking with them, hearing from them, and playing with them? Can I just sit next to my old age parents, listen to them, speak a few kind words with them? Morning, my driver comes, or my watchman comes, or my employee comes. Can I at least greet them in a warm way? This is how you derive contentment from your own family, from your own household. Just try it and see. It will give you immense satisfaction. But the problem is, we look for contentment from elsewhere, and we forget the very house from where contentment begins. Happiness, true happiness, contentment, satisfaction, enjoyment begins from the house. And for that, I need to be content with my own self, which I already told you in the first page. The first point was to be content with your own self. Then you share this happiness with the people at home. And when you see that smile on their faces of your own family members, that gives you immense contentment. Your mother smiles at you, your wife smiles at you, your children are overwhelmed by your warmth. Your father, of course, won't smile, but he'll nod his head. All these are moments of deriving contentment from the house. The moment you reach your office, the moment you reach your workplace, let there be a smiling face. Enter it with a smiling face. Let there be a smile on the employees. And when they are happy and they reciprocate your smile, that's contentment for you. And when you see a sad face, it's a time for you to show your concern. Call over that employee to your cabin and ask him, what's the matter? Today you seem to be very dull. And he comes out with his woes and worries. Try to remove them. Whatever help you can give him, you will derive immense contentment out of it. This is what sharing and caring is all about. Walk down the street. You will find some have-nots there. Set a smile on their face. Give them something. Speak to them politely. He will lift his hands and he'll do wanakam to you. I'm not speaking anything theoretical. I'm doing it. That is why I'm telling you all this on my personal experience. We as a group go and distribute dinner at night to the hungry and the have-nots on the pavements. I know the smile on their face. Ayya, ninga vantingala ayya. Rambo nandri ayya. That means we are looking for you. Thank you so much. May God take care of you. May God bless you. That smile on the face of those poor peasants on the pavements What contentment you can derive out of it? What have you given him? Have you given him a treasure? Just some few polite words, a few morsels of food. That's it. And the reciprocation, mind-boggling. Charity is a very essential element of deriving contentment. Even the millionaires today, the people who claim to be the number one in their respective careers and professions, at the end of the day, may have achieved something in life, but the nights are dark in the sense that their inner selves are dark. They are filled with depression, anxiety, fear, insecurity. They don't like to live anymore. The way anxiety and stress has overtaken their lives, in spite of being millionaires, maybe on top, maybe number one in their respective careers and professions, that even today they realize that happiness cannot be achieved by these achievements in life. It can come only by giving, by sharing, and by caring. Bring that smile on the faces of the poor and the have-nots. Even if you do not have anything to give, speak to them politely. At least you have a tongue to convey to them your sympathy. Kind words today are grossly missing. Sometimes you may even throw a morsel, a few chapatis or a few morsels of, that's not what is important. Your very parents don't want your food and your wealth. They want to see that soft spoken smile and that soft spoken words from you. What do the elderly parents want ultimately? God willing, we'll discuss about that in some other session. Derive contentment by making people happy. Their happiness will come back to you. That's what will give you true contentment and satisfaction and true happiness within. We must also learn to control our emotions, not become provocative, not react to every mischievous statement or a mischievous person we may come across. By that, we will only actually cause harm to our own selves. We'll be destroying that state of contentment which we otherwise will be developing within ourselves. Let go. Ignore certain people. Tell them, sorry, difficult for me to reason out with you. Let's be friends. Bye. Walk off. Send them some greetings of peace and keep moving. Don't destroy your state of contentment by getting into a brawl with people who lack understanding and reasoning. They may provoke you. They may want you to react. Don't come under their influence. Immediately, we should be able to identify who are those mischievous elements who are trying to get you trapped. Let's not come under their influence. Let's read things carefully and move forward. And that needs a lot of training within ourselves to that control our emotions, particularly anger. We may react, we may show our anger. At that point of time, some sense of satisfaction for a temporal moment, but after that, we will not be in a normal state of mind because we have disturbed a very important aspect of our inner self, and that is peace of mind, contentment, and happiness. We've destroyed it with our own hands. So we need to get trained to control our emotions, let go our ego, overlook certain people, overlook their faults, in order to preserve that state of contentment within ourselves. Mind you, one thing which I want to share in this session is also, don't seek contentment from the wrong places. Some people feel that through drugs, intoxicants, womanizing, and other vices, they can seek some level of enjoyment, contentment, and some pleasures. Those are destructive. It's only going to complicate matters even further. What you're looking for, enjoyment and contentment, actually is a road to destruction. But this is where the human nature will push you towards, oh, who cares about spirituality? Oh, who cares about the creator? Oh, forget all this. This is all philosophical, ideological. Just keep it aside. Let's have fun. This is how your human system and mind would influence you. Never come under its influence. Never become victims under its influence. And that's a state where you find the maximum number of people in. That's called a state of Amara, as we call. A state when you will be indulging in vices and getting influenced by satanic temptations and indulging in all kinds of sins and crimes. And I mentioned a few among them. Thinking that you may seek your contentment and happiness through them. It's not going to happen. It's only going to make matters worse, complicate, and lead to your ruination and destruction. That's very clear. What do we do then? Build it up from there. Take it a little higher, where at least there's a sense of guilt inside you, where there's an alarm ringing inside you saying, what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. Come out of it. Don't attempt at it. Let's at least bring it to that level where there's something called manasachi, or conscience within you, which keeps telling you, don't go forward anymore. Don't indulge in it. Steer clear from it. It's called a state of lamma, might be called. Now, there's a 50-50 chances of you managing your position at that point of time. Sometimes you may yield, sometimes you may come out successful, but still not assured and an assured path or assured situation or condition or state. The first, as I said, was which constantly keeps influencing you and makes you become a victim of all these vices and sins and crimes through intoxicant, drugs, womanizing, whatever, in order that you may think that you will derive satisfaction, which you may derive for a very temporal moment, but in the long run is going to be very, very harmful to you. The second is to come to a level where at least you're taking control of it to a large extent, where there's a sense of guilt factor developing inside you, and by that, a major method of or a larger way of coming out of it will at least be achieved to some extent, but still not a foolproof method. Then where do I take it to? How do I handle it then? How do I preserve my state of contentment and satisfaction, whatever be the conditions I'm experiencing? Pleasant conditions, unpleasant conditions, whatever be the conditions, how can I still maintain a sense of contentment and satisfaction from within? How can I derive contentment in life? Because without contentment in life, my life becomes meaningless. I will be at loggerheads with everybody. I will be banging my head against the wall every time. And that's not the right way forward. Which comes to the last part of my lecture, wherein we need to now understand that it will come only, this state, which I'm now going to talk about, is going to come only when I know how to fulfill the rights of my creator and fulfill the rights of my human beings. What are the rights of my creator? The rights of my creator is to worship him, to be obedient to him, to follow the do's and don'ts, what he has prescribed to us, to steer clear from vices, sins, and crimes, and acts of injustice and oppression, and to obey his commandments by being good to everybody, fulfilling the rights of your family members, fulfilling your rights of your neighbors, fulfilling your rights of your relatives, fulfilling the rights of your colleagues and places and people who work at your places of work, fulfilling the rights of the people around you, being good to them, helping them, bringing a smile on their faces, working selflessly and tirelessly to meet their needs, helping them sort out their issues, have concern for them. Well, that would be another way of now coming to that final state where you're sacrificing much of yours, much of your time, your money, your talents, your potentialities to help the opposite person become happy, That's the state of bliss. And Almighty God is not going to overlook that hard work which you are putting in. And the tremendous and enormous satisfaction that you will derive out of going out of the way to help people, to bring a smile on their faces while fulfilling their rights, by bringing a smile on the faces of your own parents, bringing a smile on the face of your wife, bringing a smile on the face of your children, bringing a smile on the face of your brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, and your relatives and your neighbors and your friends. That actually will give you the true state of contentment and happiness, which even the Creator will acknowledge. And that's called a state of mutmainna, which is the final and ultimate state which a man should progress and reach. Starting from the base level to the middle level, and finally the highest level, and that is the state of satisfaction, where the Creator himself addresses and says, "Oh, satisfied soul." Can you and I bring our state of condition to that level? Yes. How will it happen? Through meditation, through prayer, part of it, yeah. Call him in whatever good attribute and name he has. The most kind, the most merciful, the most compassionate, the all provider, the greatest, whatever names you can call him, best of names. Devote yourself for a few moments, for a few minutes. Keep a few minutes of your time during your day or your night and meditate and sit and connect with him. Ask him to show you the way, to guide you, to help you preserve the state of contentment and happiness which you are longing for, which nobody can purchase it across the shelf and not available in any grocery store. It's something which is an internal feeling of satisfaction and happiness, which is ultimately what man strives for in this world. If everything is there, it will only give us comfort. We may achieve so many things that will only be achievements, but that will never bring us joy or true happiness or that state of satisfaction and contentment in life. And mind you, let's not confuse contentment with being ambitious. Only if you're contented in life will you become ambitious, and that's very necessary. Contentment, this should not say, "Oh, you're contentment and nothing more is required." No, contentment is a launching pad for becoming ambitious and progressing and propelling your life forward in the right direction, which will give you the success, entire success. And that entire success is, I'm at the end of the day happy with what I have done. I have no regrets in life. Even if I face disappointments, even if I faced hardships, even if I face challenges, it has nowhere reduced, or I have allowed my contentment to be compromised. Because I know I have done my best and I'm happy with the way I am. And unless I don't have the self-confidence to say I'm happy with the way I am, will I be able to proceed in a positive way forward? The moment I say, "Oh, even after so many years, I have not achieved anything in life, or this has not happened, or that has not gone wrong, right with me, this has gone wrong," that with the negative thoughts, nothing is going to happen. That's in fact going to be harmful for your growth and development. If we want to really grow, if we want to really propel our life in the right direction, progress in a manner that we raise the bar of our contentment further and further and further, but that begins with being contented in the state you are at the moment. And that will happen only when you look at those who are less privileged than you and I. Unless we don't learn to look at people who are less privileged than us, we will never be able to gain that sense of satisfaction and contentment in life. And mind you, friends, this is extremely essential today. We are all running after it, but we are unable to find it. We are just going one step to the other step, other step to other step. We're only growing and developing in life, but at the end of the day, there's still depression, there's still anxiety, there's still sorrow, there's still grief, there's still isolation, there's still insecurity, there's still a sense of fear. This is going to be very, very bad. That's because we have not understood life in its right perspective. This is what contentment in life is all about. And what can be a better achievement than to be content in life? And if you're going to be content in life here, we're going to be contented in the life that is to come, where we'll be standing accountable for all that we have done in this world. And when our Creator itself is going to be satisfied with that and addresses us by saying, "Oh, satisfied soul, oh, contented soul," then we have nothing to worry. That proves and indicates that we have been successful and had lives of contentment in this world, and we are going to definitely be contented in the world to come. So this actually is the true method of deriving contentment in life. And that can happen only when we engage ourselves, connect ourselves with our Creator, connect ourselves with the people around, be sharing and caring with them, show our concern with them, avoid greed, keep our emotions under control, and not to get provocative or react to them, but on the contrary, fulfill the rights of our Creator, fulfill the rights of the human beings around. I'm sure with these values, we will definitely gain true happiness in life. And the secret of true happiness lies in contentment. And contentment is something that should keep developing from time to time, from one level to the other, until we breathe our last. And that's the final moment when we should really depart from this world in a sense of satisfaction, in a sense of contentment. Thank you so much for this patient hearing.